just in case you want to watch this again. So please go to your account setting and change your email forwarding option. Okay, is there any questions about that? Okay, so as on people on the wait list, I'll definitely send you a link to Collaborates. If you could remind me to do this, as I'm really tied up with trying to tie in all the recordings and putting it up online. Okay, so this is you as a student. Okay, now a couple of things is that in D2L, you'll find that there are very useful um, menu bar right here called the navigation bar, and I'll be referring it to navigation bar. So a couple of things before we go there is if you go to, oops, I think I went to home, my home. So I want to go back to this D2L. Okay, so clicking home will go back at the beginning. And so if you click on this Chem 230, whatever D01 or D02 you belong to, you'll find that there's going to be news. Okay, so there's a lot of news items I post just in case something creeps up. And I want you guys to have access to a current news about something. So for example, if you have issues accessing simulations, there's going to be simulations that I'm going to be adding to D2L. And sometimes Java or Flash is blocked. Okay, so your Java or Flash is blocked if you're using Chrome browser. And so in order to remedy this, what you need to do is you need to click on this lock button. Okay, so there's a lock button on the top left-hand corner that I'm pointing to. And what you need to do is notice that the Flash is blocked. Also for Java, you go to Site Settings. I'm just going to walk you through this. And you'll see that for this, there's programs that are going to be allowed and blocked. So Flash is blocked right now. So I want to unblock that. So I'll say allow all my Flash to occur. And also JavaScript allow by default. Sometimes that's blocked. And so what we have done is successfully done this settings. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Oh, great! That was a good comment right there. I just saw that. I'm just gonna say Paloma. That was a really good comment. She said, "I found out that Safari for Mac is useless when using D2L. Chrome is better." I agree with you. Now, if you have an iPhone or you're having an iPad with Safari, what you have to go is into the settings, and you basically have to turn off your cross-tracking, prevent cross-tracking. Turn that off and also turn off cookies, and it should work. Hopefully it does. Well, at least I've done that with my iPhone and it works. And you're right. Thank you for that comment. Okay, it's great. Love your comments. Like please keep on adding comments, and I'll definitely mention that so that when you watch this recording or anyone else watches the recording, they could have access to this. Okay, now let's walk you through these tools. My tools. In my tools, I'll have these. Basically, these nav bar menu, navigation bar menu is also here. Some of it's here. For example, emails here, assignments here, content is probably not there, but the ones that you need quite often, and I'll walk you through this in a bit. Okay, so most importantly is the content from my tools. Okay, let's go to content. In contents, what I have is I broke this down into, for Chem 230, let's go to table contents. Your table contents will be all your modules. These are called modules, okay? So module says Chem 230 and then course outline, and you can see the same thing on the left-hand side. Okay, so we don't need to go to table contents, but that's basically your fallback position to find things. Okay, now Chem 230 is where I'll have your notes. Okay, so your lecture notes and any videos I've recorded will be here, and they'll be here in a module. Okay, so we'll go through introduction later. There's also the review session, Unit 1 review, and then I have basically the full lecture PowerPoints for the class. I think in this Chem 230, I didn't, okay, so there's one thing that's kind of strange. I didn't copy over the course, the rest of the course, but it's there in the other section. I'll do that in a minute, okay? After I talk to you guys. So basically what we're going to do is in class, we'll do a review, basically a review lecture. And in the review lecture, you can see I broke it into web pages. And web pages, for example, when we look at this, we'll look at this in terms of the lecture, like an e-textbook, but I'm going to walk you through it. I'm not going to read to you guys. It sometimes takes a while to load up. Unfortunately, I don't know why this is. Maybe other people are using D2L at the same time. It was really slow for my other classes. So as you can see, I wrote this and put together links to YouTube, and I put some animations I'll talk about later. So these are animations that I created that would help you with organic chemistry. And one reason for making these animations is because Adobe Creative Cloud is an awesome package. It's an umbrella that contains a lot of the Adobe packages, like, for example, PDF Maker. You know about PDF. Uh, but also you have animators, which allows you to animate chemistry. Oh, it allows me to animate anything, actually. There's the video editor. It's called the Premiere Pro or Premiere Rush. If you have a collection of photos that you want to put together, you could use Premiere Rush. And I'll show you maybe a little bit later how to get there. I mean, as a student at Camosun, you are eligible to use these programs through our virtual private network. Okay, I'll show you how to do that later. And it's really cool. I think this adds value to your education with me because I know how to do these things. I'm actually one of the instructors. I think I might be the only instructor that knows how to use Adobe Creative Cloud. And a lot of my colleagues are awed by the animations. The reason for going to animation is because the textbook is by Ogilvy. I'm just going to quickly point to you this mechanistic, it's called the Mechanistic Patterns by Ogilvy. Okay, and this is the book. It's one of the best books out there. Oops, that's Mobius. Now this is the Mobius site which I directed to, and I'll just log in. I think it might have the textbook cover. Okay. No, it doesn't have the textbook cover. Okay, so it's basically a really good book in the sense that it has animations that are built in with the chapters. So you basically have a text and you have chapters with this. Okay, so I think I'm gonna take a look at this one just to look through this. Once you get the book, you'll see that when you peruse through this, it's gonna be great. It's structured, so it's like interactive book, right? So hopefully I get there. Okay. So some of these are molecules that have, I'm just trying to show you some animations that they have that's present in this book. I don't think this is to, I think this is a video that helps you solve a problem, but the animations, it's not here. So in the book, if you go through the book, I'm just going to go through another side. I'm going to show you the animations that come with this book, and this is the selling point for this textbook. I'm just going to go to my other site, Cengage. Okay. This is, and I apologize for the book not being available at this time. It's beyond my control. There was a buyout of the Nelson products. They sold the division, which is basically this this Cengage, and they sold the textbook to two different buyers, and it took forever to get the negotiation done. Okay, so this is basically organic chemware, and it's going to be embedded these animations are embedded in the book. And this is what I'm trying to do with my animations that are embedded in the lecture notes, at least for the review. Okay. And the book, for example, I'm going to show you this animation that they have done. And I'll show you my animation, which is a little bit different. It's just I'm trying to mimic exactly what my friend Delongchamps is a professor in Montreal, and it's really cool stuff. I mean, it's standout. This is how organic chemistry should be taught, where students could visualize reactions in 3 dimensions. So this is a simple substitution reaction, okay? And you'll really like this. Okay, so in chemistry, I'm going to show you a lot of these curved arrows, and it's called a curved arrow mechanism. A curved arrow mechanism is one where we're showing how electrons flow. Okay, so notice that the arrows are pointing from the lone pair of electrons onto the carbon center. We often call this a nucleophilic attack. That's a normal name. That's our normal nomenclature. Okay, it's a nucleophilic attack by the lone pair. Basically, the lone pair is going to stretch out and add to the carbon as a bond. And so now the bond between the carbon and chlorine will break apart. But this here is an intermediate, this here is a transition state. So before the bonds break, we have to bond form and bond break. So this is dissociation, association, dissociation. Okay, and then finally the chlorine comes off. This is the animation that I'm so awed with, and I'm trying to recreate. Okay, so basically this is called a substitution reaction that we'll cover in chapter 11. It's called an SN2 reaction, substitution nucleophilic bimolecular. Okay, and so you don't need to worry about the details right now, so I'm going to cancel that. Right here is the energy profile diagram. This is the potential energy. This is where the highest energy is called the activated complex. This is the activated complex. We also call it the transition state. Okay, watch what happens. On the bottom here, we'll see that the OH is going to migrate towards this carbon. Okay, and it's the lone pairs that are going to stretch out and form a bond. So it gets towards the activated complex. Now this carbon at the center will now need to decide whether it likes the oxygen or the chlorine. This is kind of like, like a guy who has, or a girl who has basically 2 possible boyfriends. Okay, so you have to decide who you gotta choose. It's kind of hard. Does carbon want to choose oxygen, or does it want to choose chlorine? So if it chooses chlorine, it goes back to the starting material. If it chooses the oxygen, it's going to go towards the product. And so if you continue on, so this is now the highest decision-making process, right? This is the process where you have to decide, oh, who am I going to choose? Either you flip a coin, hopefully not flip a coin, but you find the better partner. Okay, and the better partner is the oxygen. Notice the chlorine kicks out, and the hydrogen helps kick out the chlorine. So notice that. Let's take a look at this animation again. So in the animation process, notice the hydrogens are on the left side right here. Okay, and what's happening here is that in order for the OH to come in, the hydrogens have to move back a bit to accommodate the OH. And now the carbon gets to the side, and it kicks out the chlorine. Notice the hydrogens are moving to accommodate the OH. Okay, this is part of that VSEPR. If you haven't been to my first lesson today, this is valence shell electron pair repulsion. All the atoms want to maximize, the bonding pairs want to maximize their distance from each other. And this is through a tetrahedral shape. Pretty cool. I think I love these animations. Now, for my animation, I have one that's very similar, but it's not as nice, but I put a little bit of sound and some cool stuff to it. So all these animations are in this textbook, embedded within the text that come with that particular theme. Okay, so for me, yes, it will expire. We're taking a look at how soon it will expire. It should, the question will be the e-text access code expire after some time. Suk, can I call you Suk? Sukmanpreet? Yes, it will expire after either 12 months or 24 months. So hopefully you'll take this course only once and you don't need to deal with this again. And there's basically other organic textbooks if you need out there. There's a free virtual textbook that I have a link to. I'll show you that later. But this is one where, this is a pretty cool, at least to study organic chemistry, to see these or molecules interact. I think this is the way to go. Okay, so now I'm a YouTuber. Okay, so I like I do post my stuff on YouTube. Sometimes some stuff I do, and some are strictly for organic chemistry. So basically, if you want to look for me, Larry Lee. There's a ton of Larry Lees. If you just look at Larry Lee, I'm either a guitarist or a blues player. I follow Jimi Hendrix, or I'm a pastor. Okay, these are the false Larry Lees. The true Larry Lee is the chemistry Larry Lee. So you gotta go Larry Lee chemistry. And once you go there, you'll find me. I have a lot of cool animations here as well that I play with, but they're not tied to any text or anything like that. So animations that I like to do is this one where my son and his girlfriend, 5-year-old son, and his girlfriend love, and they always ask to watch this. This is one where I put a play. Sorry, this is.
Thank you. I just been free. Freedom from this bottle. My body aches. Thank you. Whoa, what's going on? I'm getting sucked back in. Oh no, this is not good. Help me!
Now, how cool is that? I could show you how to do something like that. And like these are fun things I learned how to do over the time of like over the summer, because we couldn't go anywhere, right? I want to show you the one that substitution reaction that was created. There's a lot of stuff here that, oops, that's the wrong one. Go, just find this. Okay, that's another imposter. Now, how do I find that? Just gotta go library. Maybe, oops, maybe I gotta go to my channel. Don't know where it is.
Ionic compound.
Okay, sorry, it's sometimes these things don't want to behave when you're looking at these things. Maybe I'll go here. Oops. Oh, let's see. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is another one I created. This de Longchamp's Organic Chem was the one that inspired me to do something like this. Here's our nucleophile. It's going to attack the carbon. Thank you. I really enjoy doing these things. Now I could show you how I did this. I mean, this is all from the internet, like the Ben Sound Instinct. That's it's a free music. Probably maybe watching Game of Thrones too much. Here's another one. I thought maybe I'll show you this one. This is the electronegativity I created, and it's another one where, like it's kind of fun. This is Adobe Creative Cloud. This is from a couple of things I've been using is um, the Adobe's software programs where After Effects, I don't know, have anyone heard of After Effects or the Premiere Pro video editor? Or you could have the Adobe three dimensions, which allows you to put together things in 3 dimensions. These are the packages that the Creative Cloud offers, and it's pretty cool. I really think that like if you want, we could basically cancel a lab, like a evening lab that I think, for example. There's going to be a series of labs that I planned, but how do we do a lab in class? Like I'm a real hands-on, minds-on type person, and that's how I like teaching, and I think that's how you learn a lot. And if I could show you how to do something different, I think like it doesn't necessarily have to be mixing chemicals. It could be a technology program or something like this, where you could use that for the purpose of creating animations in chemistry if you want, or animations, whatever you want to do, and put onto YouTube or Instagram or whatever you want to maybe make a profit in one day, right? So I think, like at least you're getting value, not just learning chemistry and enjoying the learning experience, but learning other things that are I think, transferable skills. What do you think of that? I mean, maybe like there's an experiment like separate, not separation mixtures, but it's the one called uh, recrystallization sublimation. That kind of lab, I think, would be better taught doing it rather than watching a video of someone doing it and trying to inspect and seeing what happens from a video. And I want to show you at the end of today maybe one of the Adobe packages. It's Adobe Audition. And I know that you guys love music. Everyone loves music, right? So what we could do is I'll show you a quick tutorial on it, and I'll link it up to I'll give you a link to a tutorial on YouTube, which is the basics of the Adobe Audition. Have you guys heard of Adobe Audition? This is probably maybe the first time. It's basically a audio editor, an audio mixer. Oh, great. You know what? I'm teaching you something new. That's awesome. You know what? It's going to be your pastime. It's going to be a hobby. You could take whatever music you want. You could probably put 7 tracks together and mix them, or you could either overlap them, or you could play one after the other. And this would be pretty cool, I think. I think you can learn a lot from me. It's called Adobe Audition. I'll write that down. Adobe Audition. And it's the best editor, music editor out there. It allows you to um, chop things like, say, when I'm doing a presentation, audio presentation, I could cut things like things that were said inappropriately, or my ums and ahs and stuff like that. And it's really good. I mean, I'm really happy that I stumbled across this, and you know what? You guys have access to that through the Camosun Virtual Private Network. Okay, so I'll get there later on. Okay, so hang in there. A couple of things I want to just go over is the there's a lot to talk about. I know I tend to ramble on a lot. The course outline is basically right here. Okay, and I put together a web format and also a PDF format, and I will go over this quickly with you guys. Basically, this is the web format. Now, for the all our interactions going to be online, unfortunately. Okay, and for having an office hour, set office hour, nobody actually comes to my office hour, so I'd be waiting by the computer doing nothing. Or actually, I'll be doing something. I'll be doing something on a computer, like probably putting together lecture notes or putting together last minute details on something. Okay, so I don't really like to sit on the computer all day long. So if you want, I'm going to show you my schedule in a bit. You could email me for any kind of appointment to ask any question, whether it's to do with chemistry or to do with Adobe, Adobe Creative Cloud. It's called Adobe CC. Okay, so it's gonna make sure you know this. This program is about $100 a month. Okay, but we, as Camosun, we could have access to the Adobe Creative Cloud. And if you have access to these things, this is great. Okay, so email here for appointments, and these are the intended learning outcomes. You could read that. Now, the course material, I really like this textbook. It's really good with the animations embedded within Mobius. And hopefully you could go through Mobius and do the practice problems. I'm not going to ask you to do it as a requirement for this course. You do it on your own time. We could go through this. I'm going to go through the lecture notes through this Mobius from chapter 1. I think the units are down. These are the chapters from the textbook. Okay, but for now, it's going to be the textbook. It's really good. It's really well written. I had actually reviewed it quite intensely, and the animations are excellent. I'm not going to ask you to buy a lab manual. So for the lab, please don't need to buy the lab manual. You don't need to buy lab codes. You don't need to buy a molecular molecule. I'll show you something that's really cool. You don't need to buy a lab um, uh, safety glasses, okay? Because we're all doing this online, okay? Now, the lectures are going to be all live. Monday and Wednesdays, there's a class at 4 o'clock to 5:20. And there's the other class, which is going to be 2 o'clock to 3:20. Okay, you could attend any class. I also record these classes, and if I remember to record them, they'll be definitely recorded. I mean, I'll definitely remember it. Okay, and there's the two lab sections, 2:30 to 5:20, and 6 o'clock to close to 9 o'clock. Okay, basically the instructions of class is 6 hours per week. And I'd love to have you guys here. I know that you guys are probably listening to me babble on all day, and I'm trying. I'm not the type of instructor that says, who cares? You know, students are students. There'll be another set of students next year. Just give me a paycheck. I'm going to work for my money. I'm going to work hard. And this is what I did all summer. I didn't go on holidays. There's nowhere to go because of the pandemic. We're stuck at home. So I learned a new skill. I learned about Adobe Creative Cloud. I want to have this. I want you guys to be familiar with it. At least, one day in the future, at least for me, I was trying to get students to make scientific videos for their reports. Instead of writing full reports, you're actually filming what you're doing, and you need to add title, you need to add procedure, you need the video of the lab. And this is great because when you videotape a lab or video record a lab, basically what you're doing is you're showing me where an error could possibly exist. And when you look it over, you say, oh, I forgot to do this. Oh, how dumb of me, or how silly of me, or something, like, oh gosh, I forgot this. Okay, let's look back at how we could correct this for future. It's always a learning moment. And that's what I think is so cool. And I was the first, I shouldn't say I was first, I would want to be proactive in trying new technology and putting things in a way where we could use the technology, the iPhones or the smartphones, the Android phones. Like you probably do a lot of texting, you do a lot of calling, you do a FaceTime, you do social media. But did you know that the other technologies exist and they are free to use, that you could actually put something decent together? That's what I'm trying to put together as a transferable skill. And as part of your dossier, you're part of your portfolio that you could show maybe a co-op employer, potential employer. This is what I did during school. Hey, you could show your parents this, or your friends, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, or whoever you have. You could put on social media, and you get better at doing these things. That to me is, like you learned something from me. You got value from me, and that's what I'm trying to aim for. I'm gonna work for my money. Okay, so hopefully, like you could learn from me, and I'm gonna try my best. I mean, sometimes I might be boring because my sons watch my videos and they like most of it, and they say, "Oh, some of it are boring." Well, I know it's beyond your what you know because they're only 5 and 12. The little 5-year-old likes to play Pokemon Go, and I'm gonna try to make an animation of maybe his brother being sucked up in a Pokemon ball or something like that. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Okay, so this is all the lessons that I plan. And the last one's gonna be probably the hardest, is where you're gonna try to piece together a synthetic pathway. And I'm gonna guide you through this. Okay, so synthetic methodology and applications is something that we're gonna have to look at. Like it might be a concept that I'm going to guide you through. Okay, the exams, I'm going to have, this is the breakdown of the grades. For the online assignment, this is D2L online quizzes. Okay, they're all multiple choice quizzes. Most of them are pretty easy. I'll give you 2 attempts. You'll take the highest of 2 attempts. Okay, and if you need, they're going to have a deadline date, but if you need extension, then I will definitely grant the extension. Okay, so people do things. There's things that are going on in their lives, so extension granted, right? I mean, I'll extend it for everybody. It's universal. Because maybe my dates are kind of like unfair or something like that. I'll usually extend things. Okay, then there's the test 1 and test 2, final exam. And these are going to be set dates right here. You could choose, I think it's the 20th or 21st. Basically, they're going to be during the lab period. And the 24th is also a lab period. So it's either 20th or 21st, because there are 2 sections. One's a Tuesday, one's a Wednesday. And you could choose either day. I don't mind. I'll give you a link to log in for the test. Okay, and you know what? The test I cannot tell you it's closed book. There's no way for me to police this. You're at your home, you're at your desk. So if you want to keep your book open, you have access to the internet, you could have that option. But I have to restrict this to 3 hours, okay? So I can't give you the full 2 days or 3 days or 4 days or a week to actually look up all the answers and get it all perfectly. You should be able to answer this within an hour and a half, and the extra time is to review. Okay, that's how I could tell that, like you've done your job without, going through too much looking online. Okay, same thing for the final exam, which is a little bit higher in percentage, 35%, because it encompasses everything that was covered. This will be all everything that was covered from today until the end. Okay, and that's going to be from December 14th to 22nd, and I'll have access to old finals so you could see how the questions are written. Lab experiments, because we're not doing too many experimental work, it's going to be 10% and 15% for worksheets that I'm going to help you guys with. We're going to go online, we're going to do this together, and I'm going to give you maybe a couple examples of the answers to some of the questions, and then you work on some of the questions, and you're going to have to hand this in 1 week after the day that you start the worksheet. And I will show you how to put this together in the future when we go to the worksheets. Okay, I say that class attendance is mandatory. It's not really mandatory, but the first week is mandatory because I have people on the wait list, and I need to make sure that people are showing up to class. So tomorrow's class, I'm going to take attendance of people who are around. I'm not going to do this for the lab because there are 2 lab sections, kind of chaotic to find all the names. So tomorrow I'll be able to take a class attendance. Okay, so please come to class at least for the first week, and the rest will be, you could do your own studying, or I'll be guiding you. I mean, you should come and we could talk. I mean, I really enjoy being a teacher, and this is one of my, the best career for me. I love this kind of stuff. Okay, so this is basically the course outline. Is there any questions I could help you with? Are you guys kind of falling asleep? Probably this is kind of late at night. I apologize for this. Um, there is one thing that I want you guys to do is currently there is a safety video that you could watch. There's a safety video that's 19 minutes. You don't need to watch this. This is one that you watched probably in the past. How many quizzes are there? Oh, well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Each chapter will be a quiz. Okay, so this is what you have right here. Is basically there's a laboratory safety quiz. Okay, this one you should do. You can either watch the video and answer the quiz. This is not going to be intense. Okay, if you could get mostly 80% out of this, I'll be satisfied. Okay, and it's a laboratory safety quiz, and the questions are pretty simple. It's like, after finishing a lab, what would you do? 1, just leave. 2, clean up, put glassware away. 3, basically clean up, put glassware away. Bid your instructor a cheery night, or a happy night, or something like that. So it's pretty good. Okay, and then there's basically the chapter 1 quiz. I don't know if I have this activated yet, so I don't think I could get in there as a student. So there's basically 15 to 20 questions, or maybe 15 to 25 questions for each of these chapters. Okay, and there's just to keep you going. But the most important thing are these worksheets, and I'm going to point you to these worksheets. Here's the worksheet. Basically, it's in PDF format, so you might have to print this off, or if you have an iPad or a smart tablet, you can actually probably answer it directly, take a photo of this, and do a PDF copy and put it into assignments. I'll show you how to do that later. Okay, so basically these are the worksheet questions that I have. We could do this together in one of the lab periods. I mean, maybe next week's lab period. Okay, I'm going to push everything back by 1 week because this week I just want to introduce you to D2L and to myself and what I'm up to. The time limit for quizzes? No, there's no time limit for quizzes. There's only 2 attempts for the quizzes. Okay, I'm not going to put a time limit. Okay, so every quiz, you're going to have as much time as you want, but there's going to be a due date. Again, if the due date passes and you haven't done the quiz or you forgot to do the quiz, just let me, I could open it up. Okay, and that's universal for everybody. I'm going to be as inclusive to everybody as possible. I mean, this is like things come up, right? Okay, so a couple of things. My lab schedule. And for the exam yes, the exam will be 3 hours. I'll probably extend it to 4.5 hours for the final exam. For the midterms, it'll be 3 hours. For the final, I'll give you a little bit extra time because it covers the entire, basically entire course. It's cumulative. Okay? You're welcome. Okay, so my schedule. I'm always happy to help you guys out. And my schedule's right here. This is where I'm not available for any kind of help. I'm sorry, I got a really crazy schedule on Mondays in the afternoon. So this is pretty much blocked off. And Tuesday, I have like only a little bit of time right here. Most of the time that's free are Wednesday mornings, Thursday mornings, or Fridays. Okay. Sometimes on Fridays I'll be going into the Camosun lab, and I just need to make some more video recordings of the labs and some of the lab equipment that needs to be video recorded. I'm still in the process of making more notes and animation, and this is continuously the continuous process that I have. So please email me. If I set office hours, nobody will come, right? I mean, that's what happens. I mean, only a few people come, so I'm going to keep it open. And don't forget, you could also come at night, tell me, hey, can you come on the line at night? I'm happy to help you guys at night as well. Okay, so just let me know. We could make an agreement on a date. Sometimes this Thursday, unfortunately, I want to go to my son's kindergarten class, his first day of class. So I'll be away from my desk from Thursday morning just until probably 11 o'clock. And so after that, I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Okay, I apologize because that's for my son. I mean, first day of kindergarten. Everyone wants to be there. And also because there's a pandemic out there, so we're kind of nervous. Here's my cell phone number, okay? Please email me first, and here's my cell phone number, just in case if I haven't replied to your email within 24 hours, you could always text me. If it's really urgent, something that you need to talk to me about, then definitely give me a text or call me. Usually if I don't recognize the number, I won't answer it because I get like a lot of these yahoos who are telemarketers or CRA wannabes that are posing as CRA Canada Revenue Agents. They annoy me a lot, so I don't answer that. So a text would be great. So you could text me, maybe not text me at 12 o'clock at night because I'll probably have that turned off or it'll be buzzing. Okay, so please feel free to contact me for help. I'm happy to help you. I got a lot of tools at my disposal. I got a lot of websites. So a couple of things I want to show you. Remember in the course outline, it says you should have a molecular model. Now, for molecular models, you know what? There's a website that is one of the best websites ever. Okay, this one is called MollyView. Okay, I have a link on that. I think in my links, Mollyview. So mollyview.org. Mollyview.org. You should bookmark this excellent website because this molecule is one of the base pairs. I think this might be guanine or cytosine or one of those. But basically, you got the two-dimensional structure right here, and you got the three-dimensional structure here where you could actually rotate it in 3 dimensions. You could see how flat the molecule is. And this is the flatness of this molecule makes it pretty stable, very stable. For molecules that are stable in organic chemistry, we call them aromatic. Not because of their odor, they're probably, this is odorless, but because of the stability. Okay? And so this is a really neat one. And now, so let's trash this. And so this will not go away until we set the molecule. And you could either bring up a molecule, say 2-chlorobutane. If you knew the name of the molecule, then you could actually call it up, and here's 2-chlorobutane, the two-dimensional structure, okay? And here is the three-dimensional structure, and you can rotate in 3 dimensions. So guess what? You don't need a molecular model kit. You can use Mollyview that helps you look at the molecule in 3 dimensions, and we're going to use this in Chapter 4, where we talk about 3D molecules and the chiral center, because at this center right here, where I'm pointing at, this carbon is what we call chiral. It has a stereo set. It's a stereo center where if you have a mirror plane, imaginary mirror plane for the molecule, they reflect each other and they're non-superimposable. We'll talk about that in the future. And this is why this molecule, this kit right here that's free, made by this one wonderful guy, is great. And you could actually build your molecule too. So suppose we want to build a molecule. Here are the templates. So you could take your molecule, let's say benzene or the phenyl ring, and we could add groups to this. So we'll add a single bond. So if you want to add another single bond, it'll probably violate a couple of rules. Remember, carbon wants to form 8 electrons around it. So this is too many electrons around carbon, so we can't really do this. It doesn't tell you that, but I know that for a fact. And so if you want a molecule like, we could put 4 groups around here. Let's put in atoms. Where are the atoms? I think we could just point at this. Oops, carbon hydrogens. Oops, there's the carbon hydrogens. Now, I thought I had this under control. I guess that's the charge. That's that. Where did the atoms go? Oh, here. Sorry, right here. I'm trying to find these atoms. They're all right here, hidden right here. So you want to put a chlorine. You want to put like an OH group here, bond to another hydrogen. Okay, so we're building our molecule, and what we could do here is when we leave this blank, and I'll talk about skeletal structures. When we leave this blank, this is a methyl group. Okay, so we're going to convert this to a 2D structure, and here it is. Okay, it's not in there, correct? So just skip that message. Right here is our molecule that we have created. Okay, so pretty neat, huh? Like there's that flat phenyl benzene ring, the carbon that connects 4 different groups. We have a methyl group, we have an OH group, we have the phenyl ring, and this group right here is the CH2Cl. That carbon is considered chiral. We'll talk about that in the future, but I wanted to point this out. This is a really good molecular model set, a molecular model that's online. And you should be using this. This is awesome. Okay, that's why I've been really looking into technology to teach. And I think maybe going online might be the best thing because you have videos, you have a lot of links to a variety of network of information. Okay, so I think I left this MollyView molecular modeling 2D to 3D molecular model here. It's in the link right here. And you might also, like go to this one. This is a really cool one. Okay, so it has chemistry 2D to 3D models as well. So you could do this structure, exactly the same thing, but also the most coolest thing about this is it has other disciplines as well. So it has a bioreactor. You have a bioreactor. I think it's just downloading. Yeah, it's downloading some information. And here's the bioreactor. Like you could turn this on, I guess toggle on and off, I think. Okay, I'm not an expert in biology or microbiology, but this is something that you could look at. I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, these things, like it has other different types of tools that hopefully your other courses would show you how to use this. But for me, I'm a chemist and I know about chemistry. Okay, so all this stuff is available. And you can see that this is a link in the links. Okay, now I'm just losing my voice here. Pardon me. Okay, so the laboratory schedule, this is why I planned. Okay, the one thing about this plan is not really set in stone. Okay, I mean, the orientation, we're supposed to do worksheet 1, but we're not going to do worksheet 1. I'm not going to get around this. I'm going to probably push worksheet 1 to next week, and then maybe this conformers, we're going to do worksheet 2, which basically is about stereochemistry in 3 dimensions and how molecules will go from one to the other without breaking bonds. And then recrystallization sublimation. What we could do for this one is basically I could show you how to do Adobe Creative Cloud stuff, like some animations and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool. And maybe we could do a little bit of other stuff, like maybe continue worksheet 2 or something. Okay? Okay, so I'm pretty flexible. I think this was kind of the plan for this term. But again, the problem with making a plan like this is I think for some of the labs, it requires really hands-on type work. You can't just watch a video and get awed by a video. There are videos I made that are about 10 to 15 minutes long, and I'm trying to I make it so I edited it a lot, okay, and it just comes together as a movie or like a I would say more like a trailer, a 15-minute trailer. Okay, so I'll show you something else. We'll take a quick trailer break. This is another thing I created. I thought maybe like, are you guys familiar with in iPhone, anyone as an iPhone user, it has iMovie. Are you guys familiar with iMovie? Okay, I'm going to have to go. Oh, great, you are. Oh, it's awesome. I created this one that I want to show you is this is a promotion for the chemistry ACBT group. Okay, I hope this linked up to this. It's called, let's see, my old movie. Um, think I might have taken it off, but I want to go to YouTube to show you this. It's called Change Faster, and this is what I did for Halloween last year. Okay, and I thought maybe I could impress you with something else. It's called Change Faster by me using iMovie, and this is why it's right here. Okay, and just to preface this, I was on holidays and I was just playing around with my phone. I was in Tokyo. There was a tsunami, and we couldn't go outside, so the kids wanted to just watch TV. I had my phone, and I wanted to put this together as something. Of course, there's always a hang up there. Okay, what's going on? What's going on here? Oh, this is a video lesson on naming ionic compounds with metal. That was no good. Okay, let's get back to that iMovie. Okay, I'm a playful kind of person, right? So, yeah, that's the times before COVID. I know it was so much fun to be. This is a video lesson on naming ionic compounds. Sorry about that. I should have turned that off. Yeah, it was, you know, like, I'm so sorry that we can't be face to face. I have so much to show you guys, but I'm going to try to do this over the internet online. Hopefully our internet connection is perfect. I'm sorry that it wasn't perfect for that one. But those are things that you could do, and that's what really got me into thinking, well, students could do this. They could put together something in the lab that we could edit together. And then I evolved from doing something using iMovie, this Adobe Creative. Okay, something is going funny. Okay, anyways, I really am consuming a lot of your time showing you all this stuff. You know about Collaborate? This is where you go to link in to our classes for the scheduled time. And so I'll have you guys come into Collaborate, and we could meet on our regular scheduled hours. The course media is, or sorry, my media. This is where I upload all my video content. Okay, everything that I created has been uploaded to my media. And you can see that I've uploaded quite a lot of stuff. But guess what? You don't have access to this. And your my media is your media space. Okay? Nobody has access to your media until you publish it. So the action is to publish it. And there are two ways to publish this. I have to publish it for course media. Okay, this is where you could find some of your lecture notes, your safety video, things that I created for you guys. Okay, this is where you would go, and hopefully it goes there. Okay, so this is like the group A orientation. You'll have the group B orientation. These are other files I added on here that I don't think will be that will be here in the future. But right now you don't need it. You could also toggle into a different view, which is gives it the vertical view or the bigger icon view, or you could change it into smaller view, and you could also check to see if something's on here like class notes or something. Okay, you could probably scroll through this and find what you're looking for. So this would be course media. This is where you have access to the course material. My media is my media space. Okay, this is where I have all my videos, and you have your own media space as well until you publish it. And so if you upload a video, in order to have me watch it as an assignment, it'll go into assignment. This used to be the D2L Dropbox. So in assignment, what you do is basically click on that. And right now there's nothing here, right? But I'm just gonna create an assignment to show you how this is done. Okay, so the first assignment, let's say, for me, I'll title this video view. But maybe I shouldn't do that. That's kind of like, how about melting point? That's better. That's more scientific, right? Melting point analysis. Okay, and so here's the instruction is to include, say, an edited video. Okay. Now I'll just save and close this. This is for me to do, okay? And what you do is, when you come in as a student, let's view as student. This is your assignment folder. And what we have is this title. It says not submitted, okay? And now if you click on this, this is what you'll see is this is the instruction, include an edited video, okay? And then when you want to add a file, you don't want to add a file because most people add an MP4 file. It's often it's a pretty long file. Instead, it's been incorporated into My Media. So you upload your content. So if you upload your video to My Media, come on. What you're going to do is media upload, okay? And then from your uploaded media, this is where in the assignments, you basically create a HTML file to connect that My Media to this. So what you do is on this icon right here, it says insert stuff. So you insert stuff and you insert from My Media. Okay, and this is really easy to do. Let's say I got some stuff here, forces of attraction, for example. And you just say embed. So what I did was embed. There's that blue icon that said embed. And then it takes a while, maybe. It's embedded in here. It should be embedded. There we go. And this hits submit. And there's an error. You must select at least one file. Okay, so I think this is kind of weird because I have to figure out from D2L why this is a problem. But I think it wants you to say something like my video. You just hit submit. Add a file. Okay, so sometimes it wants you to add a file, so you have to put in something like, I don't know, like maybe a file. So I add a file right here. It tells me to add a file. I don't know why it tells me to add a file. It shouldn't say add a file. Basically, it allows you to submit once a file has been added, and now I could watch the video that you have included. could add a dummy file like a text or something like that, and it's right here. Okay. I'm sorry, it's kind of weird that the file submission process is like that, but that's the way it is. So this is my media and how to add my media into assignments. Okay, is there any questions so far? I'm almost done. I'm pretty much done giving you an orientation into D2L, but as the last treats, I'm going to show you with the next, like a couple more minutes to go. I think we got a lot of time. We got till 9 o'clock, but I don't think I need all that 9 hours. I mean, till 9 o'clock. This is Adobe Audition, like I promised you guys, okay? Adobe Audition is so cool. This is one of the Adobe packages. Actually, if you take a look at my my list of Adobe packages, I got Adobe After Effects. That is an awesome, awesome program. This is what movie producers or movie editors use to editing a lot of their film and stuff like that. You could do like Chrome, green screen effects. You got Adobe Animate, which allows you to animate a lot of the characters. Character Animate is another one. And I'll show you this later after Adobe Audition. Okay, so Adobe Audition is really cool. And this is how you could mix your music. Now let me see, where did Adobe Audition go? Here it is. Let's go. Change my file. Okay, so it looks like pretty complicated, right? So you got three screens, basically three screens. This is where you're going to have your your graph of your voice or your music file. So what you need to do is you basically want to call up a file. So you could say import file. Okay. You could also drag a file in, and I'm going to go to my OneDrive. Okay, and this is where I have all my music, my fun stuff. Okay, so I have, oops, where did it go? Right here. Okay, let's put in something creepy and fun. Okay, this is a creepy and fun one. So what it does is basically gives me a graph of this music. And here's the music. Okay, now what we could do is we could reduce the volume. I have to reduce this because I want to make it a mix, overlay it with another sound. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to add another sound, and again import. You can also files, under files right here. Okay, so there's these icons that we have right here. If you don't find the files, then what you could do is you could import. It's just basically importing a file and finding where that file is. So if I want to have something creepy and epic, maybe put an epic sound from my bend sound, and what you have to do is basically drag it in here, and it changes from that creepy to the epic sound. And this is my kind of Game of Thrones type sound. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones, this is kind of like Game of Thrones, and it's already shrunk it. This is where I have already shrunk this sound. Okay, now to do a music mix, this is what you do. You go to the multi-tracks. There's waveform. This is the waveform of the sound, that one particular sound, and then here's the multi-track. Okay, so for multi-track, this is where you could overlay different sound music together, or you could mix them together, and this is pretty cool. So I'll call this maybe demo music. Okay, and you could, all these other features like the sample rate and the bit rate and this master stereo could stay the same. all that you're doing is naming the file, and the file will go into, when you save it, it goes into your folder. We could put in a special folder, like I often put into a download folder because I don't have very much in download. I usually delete the download. So you select a folder and you go okay. Okay. And this will give you a new screen. This screen is basically one where it has multiple number of tracks. I think its maximum number of tracks is 6 tracks. So you could add 6 tracks of music overlaid together. And this is so cool. So I'm going to drag this over my creepy sound. And okay, so I'm just going to start from the beginning. I think that's my, which one's this one? Oh, that's my epic sound. Okay, so my epic sound is right there. And the next one is my creepy sound. And I can overlay this. And watch this. What happens is that they're both going to be playing at the same time, which is pretty fun and cool. And you could do things like you hear them both, right? Or if you want, you got some music mix that you want, you could start one, basically starting one before the other. And then having the next one play shortly after. Or if you want to do your voice recording, you basically click on record. This will allow you to record your voice. And as you record your voice, you can see there's this waveform that is being produced. One thing nice about this is, let's say you have a lot of hums and ahs and things that you want to get rid of, and you want to repeat a sentence or something, then what you could do is you could definitely stop it and you could review what's going on. One thing nice about this, okay, so you could have one thing nice about this, and I'm going to get rid of that. You could expand this. So I'm using my wheel mouse to expand this so I could cut it exactly where I want it, like right here, and I go delete. Okay, and so now I get rid of that part about what is, let's say you have a lot of hums, right? So it's just pretty cool. This is really good, a cool editor. I mean, I really love this kind of stuff. I don't know if you do, but you could reduce the volume and you could increase the volume. Is, let's say you have a lot of hums and ahs and things. How you guys think this is pretty cool? I mean, I really enjoy this kind of stuff, and you know, like I could stick around on a computer for 10 hours and edit a bunch of stuff. It's so much fun. I mean, if you want to try this out, you know, the way to do it before anyone else gets there is, you gotta do is Google search. This is the Camosun VPN. Okay, this is Camosun VPN. The Camosun Information Technology Services, basically they upgraded their system so that they allow students to use online, to use the computers in the Camosun labs. So right here is the instructions on how to download the VPN client. So basically you have to click on vpn.camosun.bc.ca. Now I'll just get you started right here. You basically use your username and password that you use to sign in to Camosun, and here's your password, whatever you did to sign into D2L. Okay, and now the next thing is, once you've done that, it gets you to a download screen. And once you've done that, this is how you get on. So you have to go software and other services for students. Okay, and notice right here that we have the software Office 365. As a student at Camosun, you have access to this. And also right here is you have access to this Adobe Creative Cloud through through the VPN. I think this might be an old network. Let me see. I think I had it once. it tells you about the workstation. I think this is an old one. Okay, so I just have to Google um, let me see. I think computer access, remote computer access to these things for students. Um, this is the instructions to get into the computer lab. Okay, so what we have here, this is it. Okay, if you want, let me see if I could. I'll link this up. I'll link this up into the link for chemistry. So might want to bookmark this. And so once you follow these instructions to get into a workstation, you have access to Adobe Audition from your home, which is cool. And what you have is you'll find that there's the computers that are open, and you could link into those, any of these open computers from the Camosun, put into the Camosun servers, and you could use this Adobe Audition. What do you think about that? I gave you a crash course on this. The other site, you could YouTube this. Basically, there's a guy called Mike Russell. Mike Russell does a really good job in explaining in 13 minutes the basics of Adobe Audition. So if you go to Adobe Audition, Mike Russell, the British guy, this guy, Mike Russell, he's done a really good job in explaining about the basics of the Adobe Audition. Let's see if you go maybe basic. Here it's this right here. This is the one, Adobe Audition for beginners. Okay, this is 13 minutes, and this is how I started. And I don't think I'm 100% as a I'm probably at 10% capability of using the Adobe Audition. And there's a lot to learn, but you gradually learn that. The last one I want to show you is that you could try is Adobe Character Animator, and we could go through and show you this. This is a pretty cool program that I use to create my puppet. Now let's see. It takes it takes a while to load up. I'm just gonna get rid of this guy. How come you're not coming up yet? Oh, here it is. It just takes a while. Adobe, it's a big program, and this is a fun program. Adobe Character Animator. And I want to show you this is how cool this is. Okay, so this looks pretty complicated, right? Everything looks complicated at first, but once you walk through it, it's actually not too bad. So basically, if you want, you go to the welcome. And in the welcome, the neat thing about this is the creators have made puppets that you could use. And I'm going to show you a puppet. I show you that these puppets are created for you, and there's all these different ones, and there's also a starter puppet. It's just blank. There's a guy who is pretty good. His name is OK Samurai, and he's built all these puppets. And this one is one of my favorite, Dr. Applesmith. And if you click on Dr. Applesmith, it just takes a while to load up. Everything takes a while to load up. I mean, I have a fast internet, have fast computer. I think it's just maybe things just takes a while, just a few seconds, maybe a little bit longer. Okay, so what we have is Dr. Applesmith, and he is here. It's going to come up, and you have to add them to this timeline. It's usually added automatically. And this is pretty cool. It's gonna reduce this because what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to change his size once he comes up. Hopefully comes up. It's being quite shy. Where are you, doctor? I think it's because I'm running this also at the same time. Yeah, it's definitely preparing scene. I'm sorry this when I'm working through this without sharing the screen. And this is cool, right? So what we have here is this Dr. Applesmith is actually, I'm talking and see his voice moving at the same time. Okay, so that's basically a lip sync right there. And what we're gonna do, I'm going to scale him up a little bit, but I'm going to change his position, Y position. So you could see his face. This is basically it. There's also this set the position pose. Basically, this resets him into everything, and also there's going to this camera is not available because I think it's because I'm using it for D2L, and there's going to be a conflict between camera. So if you click on this, what you'll have here is your whole face will be on here, and there's going to be dots that represent points that are points on the character's face, and this character will have expression, more expression. You can move him around as you jiggle your head around. You can also wave, "Hey guys, what you doing?" This is pretty cool. This is and if you want to record what you're doing, all you have to do is hit this record button, and you could say, "Hey, my name's Dr. Applesmith," or "My name's Larry Lee." And so this is how I started my character animation. I started doing this. Um, Now you don't have to, you could have a pre-recorded voice, and with a pre-recorded voice, you basically have to insert it into the timeline. And I could show you this during the lab, that we could pre-record something, maybe one of your voices that you could send to me, and I could add this. I've been doing this for my son. I made a character for him, and he's reading a book called Froggy's Bedtime Story or something, and it's really neat. And we put it on YouTube, and it's a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope really you learn a lot from me. And I have so much to tell you guys, not just chemistry, but other things as well. Okay, so how you guys doing? Are you guys this is I think what do you think about this? Maybe we could cancel a lab section and maybe or I mean cancel a lab and come on to Adobe and learn about maybe the mixing music, or I'd be interested in what kind of music you guys would mix too. What kind of music you guys listen to, because I'm always a fan of new things. And the other ones I want to show you is Adobe Premiere Pro, which is our video editor, and how you could add titles and how you could do things like um, make um, letters move from one side to the other. So like I think I'm pretty much done in saying what I have to say, introducing you to organic chemistry. There's probably things I forgot to tell you about that will come up later on. So I apologize for just talking all the time. I'm probably like super tired now. And I think you guys are pretty super tired. So do you want to call it quits right now? And we'll come back to this next class, and in the future, we're going to be able to look into these other Adobe packages. And I'm always happy to help you. Like if you have a problem, let's get together and we could go online. I'll use the tools that are available for me. I'm probably really bad. I don't have a stylus notebook or a Surface Pro, so I'm using my mouse to basically draw things if I have to draw things. But I think I got some tools that could help us get through organic chemistry with a passion. I really enjoy teaching, and I'm hoping to really serve you guys well. I always think that a good teacher is a mentor, and I'm hoping to be your mentor. Okay, so I'm gonna quit my recording right now. I'll have this posted shortly. It often takes a while to get, um, after I stop recording.